just had the story of the woman who gave birth to twins and wanted them named what she got, but she had the name assigned to one baby and another name assigned to the other.
In the womb.
In the womb, and they flip-flopped them by accident. So we were talking about moms regretting their kids' names. 1 in 10 said they have a regret over the kids' names. My sister-in-law just texted me, and my nephew's name is Will, and she and her husband, I didn't know this, apparently she and her husband in the room had decided on a different name, and when her husband went down the hall to fill out the paperwork, panicked and went to Will.
The husband panicked. The father.
What? Yeah, the father panicked and went to. It's got to be something. I didn't know that, so I responded, "What was the name supposed to be?" And I haven't heard back from her yet.
Is it Will or was he a William?
He is William, shortened to Will. But now, his father, whose name is Robert, is the third. He's Robert such and such the third. So we all assumed he'd be the fourth. You know, the
oftentimes you'll see that.
Yeah, but they went to William, ... and they call him Will. And I've never known this story, but she says that apparently he just had a change of heart or panicked and came back, and said, I went with the other one that we didn't decide on.
How about that?
I wonder.
Wow.
I wonder if she regrets.
You got mom regret? Name regret?
They were going to name him John and call him Jack, and instead he named him William and called him Will. And I'm sure, I know my sister-in-law, I'm sure she was like, what?
What did you just do?
You couldn't even...
Say hello to William. Who's this?
I thought we decided on John. Call him Jack.
This is your child.
Call him Jack. No, apparently they went the other direction there. How strange.
What if you both named it Jack, or would that have caused a rift?
Well, we had already, it was Ben, ours was Ben. So,
but what if your wife and her sister had become pregnant roughly the same time?
We would have never done
been
that.
A fight?
We never ever would have done that. Yes, it would have been decided who got to lay claim to it. In fact,
were the names, but your sister would not, or your sister-in-law wouldn't disclose, or would she just share it with her?
Well, she would have shared it with her because, in fact, we have a daughter named Catherine, and that was my mom's name. So when my wife was pregnant with Catherine, we said that was the name we wanted. Well, it turned out that my sister-in-law had always said, my daughter's going to be named Catherine. My daughter's going to be named Catherine. So we negotiated, and
what did you give up?
We gave on the middle name of one of the children, which is my father-in-law's name, who passed away, and they got to use that, and we got to use my mother's name. So we went, it was a long roundtable discussion on it.
Yeah, the legacy.
I can see that.
There's a lot that goes into that.
Tears? Laughter?
No, all of it.
Hurt feelings, recrimination?
Laughter's through the tears, of course, yeah. But so it was a long, drawn-out process of how to, I remember that we had to go through a lot to figure out which would be named which,
About every 3 months or so, and you probably have seen this too, if you consume media the way we do, you will see the job title, baby name consultant.
Yeah.
And that has become a thing now because everyone wants their child to be unique.
Yeah. But
not crazy.
Not so unique that it's like, God, that's off the chart. Can't be spelled and that kind of stuff. I know. Really a high-pressure moment when you pick the name. Used to just be name books. You get a book and there's 10,000 names.
And half the time it just comes from your family tree.
Family, exactly. My son had nothing to do with our family. We just liked the name. My daughter is all family. It's everything in there. It's really something. How you choose it and a lot of pressure that goes into choosing. And we were ones, too, that didn't reveal the name until back when my niece and nephew were born many years ago. My sister said, here's what the name's going to be right off the bat, as soon as she got pregnant. We didn't. Melissa, you're talking about names of children. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm a P1, first and foremost, but wanted to let you know this is kind of funny. My younger son is named Ian Anderson. His middle name's Anderson. Who apparently is the hottest from Jethro Tull. I didn't know. My husband knew.
That's right.
We picked Anderson because it was my mom's maiden name, and he was like, you can pick the middle name. I had no idea, and I was telling people, and one of my friends was like, I did not know you were a Jethro Tull fan, and I was like, I'm a who? A what? And my husband was like, I thought you knew.
Oh, your husband thought you knew. That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's a very specific fan base.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you said Ian Anderson,
his eyes lit up. He knew, yeah. Even I know that name, and I don't know anything about music. I had no idea. Ian Anderson. Yeah. That's hilarious. Thank you, Melissa. Well, listen, Do you regret it at all? Do you regret the name?
No, I like his name. It's different. No, you don't come across a lot of Ians. It's different without being like odd. And
I agree.
Know.
I
I
agree.
really like it.
Ian's a great name.
That's a good one.
I also like Aiden. I think these are names that are not odd, but yeah, that's right.
I know where you got that.
Okay, I watched Sex in the City. Fine. Yes, I liked Aiden, and yes.
There was a time, remember, when every boy's name rhymed with that.
Aiden, Jaden, Braden,
Caden.
You're right. A ton of that.
There's a whole sub-generation of them out there.
Of the Aidens.
Hey, Dad, who am I named after? A Sex in the City character that, let's just say he broke some hearts. What?
He's back now on the reboot. He's back.
Yeah.
That's coming back soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you go, Aiden.
If you had two boys, the first one you'd name Aiden. Would you name the second one Mr. Big?
Yeah, he'd have to.
Yeah.
Mr. Big Kelly.
Yeah, she did. She chose
This is his little brother, Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
Aiden's back.
Aiden's
And,
back.
spoiler, I guess, if you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, proving, though, in his storyline that kids ruin everything.
Oh, totally.
In Sex and the City.
Oh, totally. Don't get me started on this. He gets back with Carrie after 20 years.
This is the
reboot.
HBO
reboot.
The new series.
Yeah, it's called Just Like That. And Big dies. Spoiler. On a Peloton. Remember, that was a big deal.
Yeah, it tanked their stock for a couple days.
It did. It did. So Mr. Big dies, and now Aiden is back, and everything was going beautifully, but Aiden has a 14-year-old child from his marriage that he's divorced, and the child...
That's right. Biggie never liked the kid.
That's right. Well, the child runs wild, and Aiden's like, I just can't be with you right now because my child... He's like, let's wait 5 years. So they've agreed to... That's how they left it. They agreed not to date other people for 5 years.
What a cheap plot device.
I loved it. I loved it. That was the season finale last year. It's like, let's be 5 years apart.
So there's nothing since.
That's the last thing
Are
he
they
said.
shooting now?
I'm sure they are. Yeah, I think it's coming. I know it's coming back. So it may be 5 years in the future now, and they'll be back and hopefully back together. I'm cheering for Aiden. You better believe. Landon, you have a name story. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So about 2 months, 2 hours before I was born, I was going to be Logan.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently my mom had a crazy sex dream about the actor Michael Landon, and she threatened my dad with divorce if he didn't go sign the name Landon, that she would leave him. And to this day, she still has a portrait of Michael Landon on the mantle. If I touch it, I get screamed at.
Yes. So you're named after the actor with whom your mother had a sex dream
And still has fantasies about.
Still has fantasy, even though he's died 30 years ago. Wow. That is a great story, Landon. That is a great here's how I got my name story.
For sure.
I like Logan and Landon. Either one of those are good. That's great. And obviously she doesn't regret it. She's still got the portrait of Michael Landon right there on her mantelpiece.
I wonder which era Michael.
Oh, yeah. Good
Bonanza, Touched by an Angel, I Was a Teenage Werewolf.
He was everything. He was everything. Michael Landon. Wow. Little House.
Little House, thank you.
You know,
I knew there was one I was missing.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, I knew there was one later in his career.
Great
too.
on Highway to Heaven. I really like. How do you go wrong with Michael Landon? Although I heard he was not a nice guy. I've heard that he was.
I've heard the same thing about people in this room. Weird.
I have such vanity. Speaking of which, my weight loss spot, GreensboroWeightLoss.com, they wanted a new headshot.
Okay.
From me. And so, because they're going to put it up on a billboard or something.
Oh, look at you.
Well, I don't know.
You're a spokesface.
Yes, I guess. So they wanted a headshot, but the one we have is from a couple of years ago, and I'm too fat for it. So I said, I'm not sure about this. And they're like, yeah, you're way too heavy in this headshot. So we had to take a new one. Yeah, I know. So we had to take a new one. And
How'd that work out?
Fine. I was just sitting here, and the guy came in and took on his phone. It wasn't like it was professionally done or anything.
You didn't ask me. That hurts my feelings.
I know. I should have asked you. He just came in yesterday and said, "Can I snap this headshot?" I said, "Sure." But they wanted before and after photos, and all the before ones. People were walking in the office yesterday going, "Jeez, you were a whale. You were so fat."
Yeah, people we've known for more than 20 years are like, "Who's this guy?"
I know.
And you're like, "It's me."
And it's me. It's like, oh oh my God, I can't remember when you were that fat. Oh, and they were just like, man, you were a big. It's like, okay, that's still me. It's still me.
I mean, it turned you on to some extent, but it hurt.
Exactly. There's a thing now. Biggie's on the phone. He needs to hear this. At Northwestern University, if you're caught making fun of someone over their weight, they will punish you. That is, in the latest, as the semesters start at Northwestern University, they're saying if you make a fat joke about someone at Northwestern, they're the first one to do this. They put it in their handbook.
Code of conduct.
Code of conduct. If you make fun of someone for being fat about their physical appearance, then you will be subjected to some sort of punishment. And it's based on how bad the joke is. They'll put it in front of the tribunal.
Weak.
I'm glad you're here to hear this.
You are?
Absolutely. Nobody makes fun of Biggie. Absolutely
That's
not.
all we do. That's most of the jokes on the show.
Not with me around.
We've done 8 of them this morning.
Come at me.
Earlier, just 30 minutes ago, was a CPAP breathing joke. You were dying.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Let them say something bad about your weight around me.
How would you like to be the first Northwestern Wildcat given a demerit or dinged on your record
for that?
For doing that.
The
I
university.
wonder if it's mostly social media or if it's face-to-face.
See, I thought face-to-face, but I bet now that you mention it, it's social media. Somebody says
all the time.
Yeah,
There's a track record on that.
Yeah, right.
No one says anything to your face anymore.
Right.
It's awkward when you see people who have, you're like, I know you talk trash about me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then no one ever says it right to you.
The university has something they call protected characteristics. It includes gender, whether you're gay or straight, all of these things. For the first time, they've put in there weight and height. So if you make fun of someone's weight, you will get the punishment you'd get, in fact, if you made fun of them for being gay.
What if someone walked past you in the lunchroom, cafeteria, whatever it is they have there, and you just kind of side-eye their plate?
Demerit. Demerit. That's a ding. I saw that. And
You see the Jell-O on that turn?
Ding. Demerit. Absolutely. At Northwestern. They're the first to take this stance. You know, my daughter went to camp that time a couple of years ago, and there were no sides words used.
That's right.
You couldn't even say, that's a big tree.
Tween camp.
She was at tween camp, and if you said, boy, look, that's a fat cupcake or a fat frog.
Yeah, big fish.
No size words. There will not be any.
Does she, now that she's not gone to the camp, I believe, for a couple of summers,
right?
Correct?
She's now aged out of that.
Does your daughter, now age 16, do you notice those words popping up in her vocabulary?
Yes. Yeah, she'll use a size. Yeah.
Does she make size jokes?
No, not really.
I mean, you could say the word big.
Not really. Now, her brother makes a lot of size jokes at her expense, which I find outlandish because she does not have an issue with that. But she's so lucky at her age right now. She'll wolf down a couple of, she'll have a chicken sandwich and a macaroni and cheese.
Wolf is a demerit word.
Well, no question about it.
Sorry, you've been flagged.
Listen, she will inhale chicken nuggets and a mac and cheese, and her brother will be like, easy, big fella, stuff like that, which I have to have a word with him over something like that. Austin, you're talking about size names. Go ahead.
Morning, guys. I was just telling Biggie, my son started kindergarten this year in Greensboro, and they're doing a fundraiser, and we have a mutual family friend named Jock. And we tried to send him the info, and it wouldn't allow us to text him the information because they thought we was using a derogatory term for calling somebody a jock.
Are you serious? Ding! That's a demerit.
Jock.
That's my name. Demerit!
But
that's my name.
No.
That's my name. Thank you, Austin.
I mean, you have to change the spelling to the French version.
Yes, I guess that's
Jock.
Jock. Big, I wish your community college had had this in place like Northwestern does. Listen, come at me.
Could have changed everything.
I mean, could have changed everything.
They literally just, again, made fun of me right here. Right in front of my face. You do it every day.
Anybody try to say something around me, let's
he'll laugh loudest.
I'll put my fist up. I will absolutely put my fist up. Well, just today, and Chris Demm noticed, I think this is such a connection that you and I have to each other. Biggie now I'm talking about. I had my headphones on listening to audio in preparation for this program today. And I thought I heard the phone beep through, so I ripped them off, and I said, Biggie,
Yes?
Is that you, Biggie?
Do you need me?
And Chris Demm said, no, nobody buzzed
It's
in.
quiet. There's
Not
no
one.
one else in the room.
So Chris Demm's theory is that now we have a telepathic communication, and anytime you're in stress, let's say you go down in a fall,
And can't call. You'll know.
I'll come to your aid. I'll know.
He's
Stephen
late.
King story.
Exactly. That's the Stephen King story. I'll know. We're tethered by an invisible string.
Oh, we're tethered. Financially, at least for me, I can't go anywhere else.
What would Stephen King call that? What would the title be?
What would the title be of this? Yeah,
Can't use tether. That's a feature film.
that's already been done. That's right. What could the invisible string?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I are connected by an invisible string.
Well, the thing that's keeping me here is my massive financial debt, so maybe just the debt.
Yeah, because it works on
Yeah,
two levels.
yeah.
It works on a
There's
couple of
personal
levels. there.
debt,
That's right.
financial debt.
There's a debt. Anytime you're in distress, my hackles go up. I sit up.
It's like spider sense.
You should have seen it. I ripped my headphones off. What?
Yes.
What? And Kristen goes, no, bro.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened here. I thought I heard a beep come through there. You know what I was listening to? I guess this is about, well, it's not really about people being made fun of. And this is happening all over the place now where there are protests, where like art is being spray painted and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's happening all the time now. I've never seen it handled like this before. Pete is at it again now.
Oh, Lord.
At the, when Peter gets at it, man, there's problems. This was at the Toronto Film Festival, which is going on. A person who was protesting, I guess, eating meat.
Leather?
Leather. She goes up to the front of a big auditorium. Pharrell is on stage. Pharrell is up there, and everybody. And
I think he did the music for the new Lego movie.
all right, that makes perfect sense. Lego's got another movie out. Pharrell's on stage. So she goes up there with a sign and starts chanting like, no leather, or meat is murder, that kind of stuff, And Pharrell did something that no one has ever done. And he took the microphone and he goes, I totally agree with you. You're right. Have your spot. And everybody was like,
And then he God blessed her.
and he said, God bless you.
You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Pharrell. Yes, you're right. God bless you. God bless you.
For the crowd. They love it. He God blessed her. And then she kept on screaming.
It's okay. Everybody give her a round of applause, please.
Yeah, cheer for this lady. She's anti-meat. And I guess she picked the right time. But then she's like, oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
he held security off.
Yeah.
He let her holler.
Yeah.
God blessed her.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly escorted her out.
Well, it wasn't like a big thing. Maybe that's how they should do with people that spray paint the Mona Lisa. Just go, hey, yeah, great point.
Yeah, but their target is stationary. It's inert.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
this was she was protesting him. You heard her hollering Pharrell.
He's like, yeah, great point. You're right.
I agree with you.
And stopped it. That is
Just melt her brain.
I don't think that's ever been done before. She's like, what? Huh? I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe like comedians when they're on stage and they start getting that, we should go, great point.
Yeah, I do suck.
Yeah.
I am not funny.
Exactly.
I bet PETA won't be happy with her.
Yeah, I know.
He'd be like, you didn't make a big enough
you
scene.
didn't do enough,
If he's agreeing with
Cindy,
you.
you failed.
Yeah, he agreed with you.
Good job in Toronto, Cindy.
Yeah, yeah, nice,
Paid for you to go up there and do that.
nice going. Didn't you say Biggie said, I thought this was so brilliant. If he's ever like in line at McDonald's and somebody comes in and says like the blood of the earth needs to, the earth needs to be run with blood of the victims, Biggie will say, great point. Let me go to my truck.
Yeah. I'm with you, brother.
Let me
Hang
help
tight.
you out. Let me go to my truck and get some materials for you. I know you've always said, let me go get my sign.
You got to join them. Somebody
Yeah.
comes in to rob.
Yeah.
I hate this place too, man. I'm with you here. Give me a gun. You got to go along with it.
Yeah, exactly.